Welcome to the very first episode of Retail Focus. My name is John Suder, and I'm here with my co-host and partner in all the crimes, Mr. Bart Mroz.
What's up?
What's up? I was going to dress up for our first podcast, put on a nice shirt, but A, it's NSC Championship weekend, and B, it's only 27 degrees outside here in Philadelphia, so comfort is the key. All right, so let's get into it. Bart and I are both podcast and e-commerce veterans. In our past lives, we produced the eCommerce Minute podcast from SUMO Heavy. We recorded 788 episodes before sunsetting that thing. So we're starting this podcast because while we're in different places in our careers now, we still love podcasting. We still love talking about e-commerce and tech and all the fun stuff that goes with it. Also, we're probably too lazy and stupid to do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we're just dumb. We're just dumb.
We're just dumb. We're just two dumb guys.
Dumb.
We need for the podcast. All right. So without any further nonsense, let's get on with it. First story for this week. iPhones with TikTok installed are sold for up to $10,000 on eBay. There is a bizarre trend shaking up the resale market. Used smartphones with TikTok pre-installed are being sold on eBay for jaw-dropping prices. With TikTok recently banned, then quickly unbanned from U.S. app stores due to national security concerns, sellers are cashing in on the app's absence. Listing for these so-called TikTok phones range from $2,000 to as much as $50,000. Why the frenzy? While TikTok services have been temporarily restored after a 14-hour blackout, users who deleted the app or bought new devices can't reinstall it, as it remains unavailable on both the App Store and Google Play. Sellers are exploiting this gap by offering phones with TikTok already installed, targeting desperate superfans. But here's the catch. There's always a catch. Most of these outrageously priced listings are not selling. eBay's best offer feature is helping buyers negotiate more reasonable deals, and experts warn against overpaying for older models like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. For those locked out of TikTok, accessing it via web browser might be a smarter and much cheaper alternative. This trend highlights how far some are willing to go to stay connected to their favorite platform. So I just spoke to Bart a minute ago. I cannot connect on my desktop, so maybe that's good for me because it'll be good for my productivity. What do you think, Bart?
You know, where there's a market, there's going to be somebody that will sell something.
Absolutely.
I mean, the dignity of TikTok, obviously. I can't. That's just why. Like, I get it. I mean, I guess you can do it and sell old devices with it.
I just imagine the 15-year-old trying to explain to his mom why there's a $2,000 charge on her credit card from eBay because she had to buy a new phone for her TikTok. I mean, so she could do her dances.
Yeah, I guess on Android you can sideload it if you deleted it. I mean,
and you could use a VPN, but I think most kids are too lazy to do that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I mean, they're blocking it all over the place and whatever that is, but the ban was interesting. Like, it's just like stopped at one point, which was I was actually flipping through TikTok. I was like, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. I wasn't gonna wait till midnight, but it stopped at like 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, it did. Yeah, because I know there was a couple clips of some influencers that were live when it shut down.
Yeah,
but it must have been dramatic. It's like a radio station going off the air forever. You know,
that's so weird. Like I mean, let's forget all the political crap with it and all that stuff that's going on with it. It's definitely insane. I mean, to me, it's like there's so many people on it selling their stuff in like small businesses. You know, all the creators that like understand that like you have to be on other places and sell other things, they get it. But there's so many little tiny businesses that survive COVID because of it.
I think that's what really is the gut punch for a lot of people. I saw a lot of creators like that guy Tizzy, and there's a couple guys that I follow on TikTok that right away their stuff was up on Threads and they didn't miss it. But not the lady selling candles or the people who are doing TikTok shop making pretty decent money. Yeah. They suddenly had to turn and go, I don't have a job anymore. And then, oh, nope, it's back.
Yeah, that is just like a weird shocker. And, you know, in the past days of like when it came back, you kind of see it do funky stuff, and like all these social media things are doing funky stuff. But, you know, end of the day, it's a platform. You got to go look at it. It's a free platform that
Yeah.
you can do all your stuff. And like we've seen social media do this all through the years, right? Like it went from Twitter or Friendster, and Friendster disappeared. MySpace did that. MySpace disappeared. Like all those things just keep on evolving. It's just like, where's your way of making money and how like now TikTok is a little different because it's one algorithm that has outdone everybody else,
Yeah.
right?
That's
The idea of that is just so good that not your whole feed will destroy everything. That will like go viral. One video can go viral, but your next video could be 5 views.
yeah.
So it's all based on that. So it's definitely different. But basing your whole livelihood on just one is silliness.
Yeah, that's the old adage. You have to own your audience. What you and I talk about this a lot. Is if you make your living off a platform, you have to be prepared for that one day that for that platform to either suddenly change the rules or disappear. If you don't have your own email list, if you don't have your own website hosted by yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're a digital creator or someone trying to make a living online. I know I have a Shopify store, and if they took Shopify away, I'd have to start all over again. I mean, it would be, I'd have to learn WooCommerce again.
Speaking of openings and closings in retail,
Bart, we just lost Bart
I'm
there.
a little rusty. I'm a little rusty, my friend. I'm a little rusty. Okay, I pressed the
I was
wrong
like,
button.
oh, this is probably Bart's the smartest thing he said all year, and we missed it. We missed the gems.
You missed it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right,
But
let's
speaking
close
of
up TikTok.
Shopify,
Final thought. Final thought on TikTok.
we'll see. We'll see where it
Yeah.
goes in 75 days or whatever that is.
Yeah. The reason that Google and Android are not allowing the downloads is because there is a law, and if they break that law, they'll be on the hook for billions and billions of dollars, and I think they're just going to wait it out. So
And Google and Apple don't want to play that game.
yeah, Google they don't want to get involved in that shit. Well, I'm sorry, crap. And I think you're right. That we're just going to have to wait it out and see what happens.
Yeah, it is what it
Yep,
is.
it is what it is. All right, next story. Which retailers are planning the most store openings in 2025? Retailers are making bold moves this year, with several major brands planning on significant store expansions across the U.S. This marks a stark contrast to the wave of closures in recent years. Leading the charge are Dollar General and Dollar Tree, collectively opening 1,000 new stores by the end of the 1,300 new stores by the end of their fiscal year. Other notable players include Barnes and Noble and Boot Barn. Bart shops there a lot at Boot Barn, each
Get my
adding
boots.
60 locations, while Costco, my favorite, plans 29 new stores, and Target will open 30. Interestingly, this growth comes as physical retail rebounds from pandemic era challenges and inflationary pressures. While e-commerce continues to thrive, these expansions show a renewed focus on in-person shopping experiences. Retailers like Birkenstock, that's where I shop because I'm an old hippie, I'm going to cut that out. Retailers like Birkenstock are also scaling up with plans to increase their store count by 50%. This shift signals optimism in the retail sector, with brands betting on physical locations to drive customer engagement and sales. Stay tuned. We'll watch how these expansions shape the retail landscape of 2025. But there's always a but. Time to check the other side of the coin. Let's not pop the champagne just yet. According to Coresight Research, store closings are significantly outpacing openings this year, continuing the trend from 24. Last year, 5,970 stores opened, but 7,325 closed. So we have a net loss of over 1,300 locations. This year, the situation looks even bleaker, with projections showing 15,000 stores set to close, while openings remain steady at around 5,800, which we just mentioned in the last segment. So what's driving the closures? Well, we got bankruptcies, we got restructuring efforts, shifting brick and mortar strategies. Here's the key players. This one just happened. Party City, after filing for bankruptcy for the second time in 2 years, the retailer is liquidating and closing all of its 700 stores. That one is not really a surprise. Big Lots. Now, this was a cheap discounter. We have a few around here. Initially announcing a full shutdown, Big Lots struck a last-minute deal with variety wholesalers to save at least 200 locations and 2 distribution centers. Kohl's. Now, this one is always interesting. While not in bankruptcy, Kohl's is struggling with declining sales and traffic. The company plans to close 27 underperforming stores by April. Now, they did a lot of stuff with Amazon recently, but now I know the big draw for the Kohl's around here was you could drop off your Amazon returns, and then they
Yeah.
opened an Amazon grocery store two doors down.
Yeah, that
So
goes
there's
away.
less of a reason to go there.
Yeah.
Macy's, the most financially stable of the group, Macy's continues to scale back its footprint as part of a long-term plan to close 150 stores by 2026. This year alone, they've confirmed 66 closures. Now, while some brands are finding ways to adapt or restructure, many are being forced to make tough decisions about their physical presence. The retail landscape is shifting rapidly in 2025, and it's clear that survival depends on innovation and adaptability. And I don't know how much more innovative you can be in a retail store these days. Oh, I know, AI.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how much you can. I mean, Big Lots closing is kind of interesting. I mean, I, Costco is funny. What was the last store you've been to? You've been to more stores than I go to, but um, I think
Costco. I go to grocery stores. That's about
yeah,
it.
I go to Costco and Lidl because they're across the street from each
Right.
other. I have not been to an actual store in so long. I walk through a Macy's because where I park sometimes for the city. I walk
We
through
went to
Macy's to go to the
Macy's to
train
return
station. That's literally what I do.
we went to a
Speaking of,
Macy's last week to return a Christmas gift, and I looked around. And I went, "Wow, this is not the
yeah,
Macy's I remember."
no. I mean, any one of those big stores, like it just makes no sense. People don't also put money to it. Like Dollar General and Dollar Tree, I get it. The problem with some of that place is that some of these people, that's the only shop they have or
Yeah,
grocery. Like the
like
food
people
desert stuff is insane.
people have to do their grocery shopping at Dollar General. If that's not depressing,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's there. Barnes and Noble opening, that's kind of weird. But Barn, whatever. It is what it is. Target
I,
makes sense.
I'm happy Barnes and Noble is hanging on. I mean, that's really
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if there's like a comeback to some of the bookstore stuff or what they're doing with it, but I've seen a lot more Barnes and Noble. I mean, it's been a thing. I mean, they didn't win the ecom game whatsoever, obviously. Um, See where that goes. I mean, this conversation yesterday, I saw, it's like New York City. If you're a direct to consumer brand, you have to have a store in New York City,
right.
which is like
And
the
it's a
weirdest
loss
part of
leader, and you
that.
know that nobody's going to buy anything. It's an ad.
Yeah, it's an ad, right? It's an ad. I think smaller type of places is where it's going to be, right? Um, I mean, we know that from like Bonobos or on Tucket. They're not stores. They're just like, oh, try stuff on.
Yeah.
Um, like I think we got to separate the grocery stuff from actual stores people shop at. I don't know what's going to happen. And not to get political too, is like with tariffs, where does that go? Like Dollar General or Five Below is not going to be Five Below anymore. It's going to be
It's going to be
25 and up,
dollar plus general.
right? Like I don't know. I just I this kind of those kind of stores I get, right? It's the Dollar General, the Dollar Trees, Big Lots doing that. That's kind of interesting that they're closing. Um, but yeah, I don't shop enough in the store. Like I shop online. Always like it is what it is for me.
Same, and your analogy of, you go to look and touch something and then you go online to buy it. That's totally what I do.
Or in a store, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a shot.
I'm just
Plus,
gonna
like
go.
I think I'm at a point, I guess, in my life, it's like I don't buy stuff for myself anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need much, I'll buy groceries, but buy stuff for the kiddos, but that's
You
about
have
it.
you you have simple pleasures because you're a simple man. Yeah.
I am a simple man.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna circle back to TikTok. We're talking a little about TikTok and their e-commerce push. All right, so we're gonna get in the bold move into the world of e-commerce. The platform, obviously known for its viral videos and trend-setting culture, is now reshaping how we shop online with TikTok Shop. The feature allows creators to sell products directly through their content, blending entertainment with commerce in a way that feels seamless and fun. And it's working. Over 70% of TikTok users discover new brands on the app, and 83% says it influences purchases. TikTok is also leading into live shopping events where brands and creators can engage with customers in real time, driving sales through interactive experiences. To keep up with competitors like Temu and Shine, TikTok Shop has launched seasonal sales events similar to Amazon's Prime Day, and they have been a hit. But TikTok isn't stopping there. They're testing something new called travel ads, a new product designed to help travel brands connect users looking for the next adventure. And behind the scenes, TikTok is using AI to identify products in videos and recommend similar items, making shopping even more intuitive. With its unique mix of content, community, and commerce, TikTok is carving out a space that is not just a social media platform, but a major player in the e-commerce world. It's safe to say that shopping on TikTok isn't just a trend, it is the future. You buy stuff on TikTok, right?
I have a few times, which was interesting. Um,
I
it
bought a couple.
came. I mean, the restriction. They have to ship it up within 3 days, so they're really fast about this stuff.
Yeah.
One of them that came a broken, and they refund it really quickly. They don't get dinged. TikTok Shop actually has been, going after Amazon really, really well. I think it's a way well done way of doing things.
Yeah. I've
Um,
I've done some price comparison, because I see tripods, see things. We all know it comes from the same place, right?
yep, yep,
And you try to find something comparable, and I'm like, you know what? These stores are competitive, and I would rather give a commission to the creator
yep,
who's
yeah,
standing there, doing
doing the
the
thing.
"Ooh,
Yeah.
here's my thing."
Well, speaking of that, what I laugh at, how many articles we have written for past almost 15 years about live shopping.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. That goes so far back when it was like this bizarre concept, and
Well,
now
because I right, because I was like, oh, you can do this on Facebook and then attach your Shopify store and do it that way, right? And now all of a sudden you see all places in China where they like have these farms and
the
stuff like that.
farms, yeah, the
They
creator
sit
farm.
outside. Well, the trick is, so this is the funny part in China. What I've learned, what I've gathered is that if you see them outside at certain places, it's because the way the internet is restricted for them. So basically, they go to like a rich neighborhood and stand in their neighborhood. So it's kind of what their videos are. So it's not geolocated like you would. You can kind of hack it here. It's they have to be physically in that spot. So all these farms like under bridges or whatever else, they're in rich neighborhoods selling to the
All
rich
right. See,
kids
I
doing
wondered
that.
why they were doing these
Yeah.
setups outside, like you see, and it's a really the most. If you haven't seen this, you got to look this up. It's basically you're walking under a bridge, and suddenly there's
Just a
30 or
row.
40
Yep.
ring lights with men and women, young men and women standing there holding up products and just huckstering and huckstering and
Yep.
huckstering
Yep.
and
Yeah.
making money. I mean,
And making money. And it's interesting, but and they do it 24 hours. Like they sleep right there, like all that kind of stuff. And it's really because they want to be in those neighborhoods. And it's sold to those people. So
that
it's a funny way of like hacking hacking the way that
that's
works.
fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And TikTok's also promoting its sister app, Lemon 8, which TikTok, which is an alternative to TikTok. I tried it. I also, during the blackout, went to Red Note, which is actually called Zheng Hong
You
Shu.
actually signed up for it?
Yeah, I had to see what was going on, and it was all in Mandarin. It was very hard to navigate. But it's funny, there was a lot, like I had said to you earlier, that guy Tizzy, a couple other influencers, right away, their stuff was on Red Note and
Yep.
Mandarin text right over top of it. It was wild.
Hey man, I mean, I think for you because you love the culture and the food, I think
Yeah.
that's a good place to like learn a lot of that. And
Mhm.
like, a lot of people
Absolutely.
have learned a lot of different things. So I don't. I was just like, this is gonna come back in like a day. I was like, I'm just not even going to bother.
Yeah, I didn't get too invested in it. It was one of those like I downloaded, I played with it for an hour, and I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And then the next day, sure enough, 10 o'clock in the morning, TikTok's back.
Nice. Nice.
All right, let's get to the next story. CES 2025 just wrapped up.
Have you found any fun technology from CES, buddy?
AI. Next story. Yeah, CES 2025, the world's biggest tech show, just wrapped up in Vegas. This year, over 4,500 companies showcased their cutting edge innovations with artificial intelligence taking center stage. Here's the highlights you need to know. AI everywhere, from TVs to wearables, AI powered products dominated the show. No surprise there. LG and Samsung unveiled smart TVs with AI tools that enhance picture brightness and sound quality automatically, while NVIDIA introduced its Cosmos AI model, which won Best Overall at CES. And in gaming, NVIDIA also launched its RTX 50 series graphic cards. AMD revealed its Ryzen AI Max chips for gaming laptops, and Intel introduced its Core Ultra 200V series for enterprise and gaming systems. The competition in high performance computing is heating up. No surprises there. Futuristic gadgets. Lenovo wowed attendees with a rollable laptop. No words. While TCL debuted a 199 smartphone with NXT paper technology, which offers week-long battery life. Meanwhile, SwitchBot's K20 Pro robot vacuum stole hearts by doubling as an air purifier, security camera, and even a sandwich delivery robot. Yeah, I think I'd get one of those.
The
And it's
sandwich.
a sandwich delivery robot. Sustainability. Aptera showcased a solar-powered electric vehicle that could revolutionize EVs by using sunlight for energy. I always wondered why there was never solar-powered cars. Robotics. Robots were everywhere. LG's self-driving home hub and AI-driven robots hinted at the future of home innovation. CES 25 proved that AI isn't just a trend, it's transforming every corner of consumer tech, from smarter gadgets to sustainable solutions. This show gave us a glimpse into the future of AI in our everyday lives. All right, you want to comment on this before I get to the weird stuff? Because we know there's always weird stuff at CES.
Yeah, actually I mean that's just given. It's always fun to look at new tech. The SwitchBot stuff is actually interesting. I've seen this release beforehand. They are I have one from Eufy or Anchor, which is great because it's also a mop and it like refills it. What I believe that one does is it pulls the humidity air
Mhm.
and makes water. So it basically recycles it. So it just pulls it in. So it's like pure recycling water to mop your floors, which is
Okay.
interesting.
All right.
Which is kind of yeah, I think
That's
that's what it does.
pretty well.
Last time I checked,
Have you ever been to CES?
I have. It's insane.
I went
Um,
years ago. It was like Disneyland for tech. It was really it kind of bent
it's
my
probably
mind for a couple of years. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably was better back in the day where it's just
Yeah.
like all this new stuff. Like we've been around so
And
long,
I,
we're
I
old.
think it's a lot smaller now, but
I think so too, because it's just a different tech, right? Like the laptop thing, the Lenovo thing, the roll up. Did you see this thing? It's
no, I
kind of
didn't
cool
see it.
actually. So basically, it's a regular laptop like you would, and basically you press a button and it just goes. So it stretches the screen up, so it makes it longer. Um, Kind of cool. So basically the bottom just kind of rolls like you would like with a shade.
Okay, got it.
So it wasn't a roll up.
I was gonna roll it up and
No. It's
all right.
basically a laptop, and then basically you press a button. Oh, you want more screen instead? It just goes
Yeah, I
and it
think
rolls
those
up.
those foldable displays next couple of years are gonna start blowing people's minds.
Yeah, because it's gonna make phones thinner and laptops thinner
Yeah.
and all that kind of
And
stuff.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get back to the flip phone age, back when we were the cool kids and we had our flip phones. But it'll be all one screen, flippy screen,
Or no phone at all.
or no phone at all. That would be even nicer. All right, so you can't talk about CES without talking about the weird stuff. Here we go. Imagine a robot that cools your coffee with algorithmic precision. Japanese startup UK engineering engine created the oh, I'm struggling today.
Cool.
Nikojita Fufu, a tiny $25 robot that attaches to your mug and blows on your drink using different modes, including one literally called the Princess that elegantly cools your beverage. There's Bart demonstrating.
I can do
L-
that.
LG unveiled the Aero Cat Tower, a cat bed that's basically a health cat. Wait, are you ready for this? It's a health tracking, air purifying, smart home device for your feline friend. Because apparently cats need AI powered sleeping arrangements now. This I've heard about this one before. How about an electric spoon that tricks your tongue? Japanese beer maker Kirin developed a $125 spoon that uses mild electric currents to make food taste saltier.
I
The,
I saw this.
yeah,
It's weird.
let me finish and we will comment. Robot VR Explorer took immersion to new heights. A spinning chair that moves with your head movements in virtual reality. And for $800, you can literally spin into your digital adventures. And here's the best one. The Marumi, an adorable robot that does nothing except make eye contact and look cute. It's basically an $80 digital pet that will probably give you an existential crisis. I would do it for half that. Call me, ladies.
What the? Seriously, what?
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah. There's always the rear. I think that was always my favorite. I think that's the only place I would go to. Really,
yeah.
like there's always cool tech and stuff like that, but I would definitely go to a place where we'd be like, yeah,
We need the weird CES show. Just go to the
just
weird,
that the
the one
pavilion.
pavilion that just is weird, and I'll just go there and I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
perfect, perfect,
All right,
perfect, perfect, perfect.
let's wind down here. Brands to watch in 2025. Here's a roundup of the most exciting brands making waves in 2025 across different industries. In food and beverage, we have some spicy contenders. Hot sauce brands like Melinda's, Bangin' Hot Sauce, and Hoi Fong Foods, Mr. Sriracha, are heating up the market, while Poppy and Olipop continue their impressive growth. Snack lovers should keep an eye on Samyang, which went viral on TikTok for its fiery noodles. Samyang, by the way, is the manufacturer of Buldak noodles. And if you're into spicy ramen, everyone knows what Buldak is. I follow a spicy foods Reddit group, and I've read some horror stories of
I bet. I
people
bet.
trying the
I bet.
3X. They're like hardcore spice heads. They're like, never again. I will never put that in my body. For beauty and lifestyle, Dew is a standout. This skincare brand just landed a major deal with Sephora, selling in 750 stores, 714 stores, and recently bought in a new CEO from Tatcha. Meanwhile, Rhone is expanding beyond men's performance wear, launching a women's collection and partnering with LPGA and NBA. I've never heard of either of these brands, so good luck to them. I checked out their sites, very beautiful, nice packaging. In the tech and home space, let me try that again. In the tech and home space, companies like Bond are revolutionizing home control, growing 70% annually, partnering with brands like Hunter Douglas. Creston Electronics is pushing boundaries with its home OS, and Furrion is making waves with its innovative outdoor electronic entertainment systems. Yes, try saying that fast. Some big brands are also having a moment. Nerds Candy, Fairlife Protein Shakes, and Elf Cosmetics are seeing massive growth. I hate nerds, providing the innovation isn't just for startups. And for food lovers, keep an eye on Giada, a deli chain from LA that's reimagining sandwiches with a cheeky Sopranos vibe. They have 5 stores in California right now. I don't know how they're going to spin that out across the country, but I always love creative food concepts. These brands are proving that 2025 is all about innovation, authenticity, and pushing traditional boundaries. Stay tuned. Thoughts and prayers? Yes.
It's yeah, LA doing sandwiches like that from Jersey. They can't get their bagels right.
It's the water, Bart.
It is
Yeah,
the
see,
water.
I don't drink these expensive seltzers. I drink my Aldi seltzer, and that's just fine.
Yeah.
Bulldog, I will stay away from. I'm not really a cosmetics enthusiast, so I can't even comment on that.
On any of them? Rhone is great. Some good products. Fairlife
I'm talking to
Protein,
a
I like
guy who
it.
buys his sweatpants at Costco. I mean, I'm not
Me too.
exactly a pillar of fashion
Fairlife,
here.
yeah, the Fairlife stuff, yeah. I mean, it has some controversy sometimes, but it's one of the best protein shakes out there for the buck.
Yeah. All right, let's close it up with everyone's favorite, some stats. So we got some stats from January 25 as we kick off the year. First, global growth is on fire. E-commerce sales are projected to hit a staggering 7.4 trillion with a T, with mobile shopping, of course, leading the charge. Smartphones account for now 74% of all traffic to retail websites and 63% of purchases. Unsurprisingly, Amazon continues to dominate in the US, holding a 37.6 market share, while globally, China, of course, leads with over half of all e-commerce sales. Here's an interesting one. On consumer behavior, cart abandonment remains a challenge, with rates hovering around 70% globally, driven by high prices and complicated checkout price processes. But here's a bright spot. 34% of consumers shop online weekly, and 49% start and finish their shopping journeys on retailer websites or apps. Also transforming the game from personalized recommendations to dynamic pricing, 33% of businesses now use AI tools, and customer expectations are rising. 71% want personalized interactions when they shop, even if it's with a bot. Finally, sustainability is shaping trends in 2025. Here's my favorite phrase: pre loved fashion is going mainstream, with searches for secondhand items surging by 400% on eBay. Retailers embracing these shifts are not only meeting consumer demand, but also optimizing inventory and reducing waste. With online sales expected to make up 21.9% of all retail sales this year, it's clear that e-commerce is not just growing, it's evolving. Yay, e-commerce.
Yay. Yay. Ecom. We love ecom.
We love e-commerce. What can we comment on any of this?
Just a lot of stats.
A lot of
Ecom is
stats.
growing.
None of it surprised me.
Mm,
The cart abandonment thing was, it wasn't
that's good.
shocking, but it was kind of sad because you just imagine most people, oh, okay, I'll look at that, and then they go, and they put it in their cart, and then they think about it and go, I can't really afford that, and then they put the phone
Mhm.
away, and then an hour
Well,
later they talk themselves into it and they buy it.
yeah. I mean, the cart abandonment's always interesting. It's a different world. Like you think about it, people go to shop at a store, they look through stuff, right? Is that cart abandoned too? Put in cart, not put in
Yeah,
cart. It's the
it's
same
it's
thing, right?
analog, the analog
Analog.
version.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we're going to wrap this episode up. We're running out of time, so we will catch you on the next episode. Bart, do you want to give any socials out or any place that you want to people get a hold of you, or you just want to stay anonymous?
I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm
Bart's
not
going to stay
really.
in his lane. You can
I'm not
find
really that
me.
hard to find.
Yeah, right. I'm not hard to find either. You can find me on all the socials at John Suder. We will have social set up for this podcast probably by the time we publish this thing, which we will put in the show notes. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff and tell your friends. We're not going anywhere.
The most important thing today: go birds.
Go birds! Go birds. Well, we'll see y'all next time.
不知道，不要。